Yo guys, we are back with another remembrance video venturing into the Primarchs. This is gonna be our third Primarch, I believe PERTURABO, 4th Legion, I believe Iron Warriors, and I might try to do it, but again, here's what I've been doing the last couple days. You guys are about to witness real, unedited reaction. What? Nothing changed really. Yeah. Now let's get into the video.
Tell them ruin has come to their world. Death, despair, and red war. Tell them their hopes and pride have come to nothing. Tell them their empty whispers fall upon deaf ears. Their gods are dead. Human reason has killed them. Tell them the angels of death have come. Tell them nothing can save them now.
Wait, it is PERTURABO, not PERTURABO? Wait, not PERTURABO. Oh my god, I will have to redo the thumbnail.
Among the Primarchs of his Imperium, pride would be the downfall of many of their legacies. Imbued with power alike to gods, each Primarch would be capable of conquering, sundering, and building empires with their innate talents.
I thought his name is
Yet with
PERTURABO,
such
guys.
power, it is easy to fall to the temptations of ego, bitterness, and self-aggrandizement. For today, we shall elucidate a Primarch, cursed with great knowledge and an endless hunger to prove his intelligence, capabilities, and superiority. The Lord of Iron of the 4th Legion, PERTURABO.
Brother, why did they think it was PERTURABO?
With the scattering of the Primarchs across the disparate stars of the galaxy, the young Primarch of the 4th Legion would be spirited to the world of Olympia. A civilized world abounding with culture, art and technologies, the planet would, despite its trappings, be laced with political deception and duplicity.
Okay, so unlike Fulgrim, because that's we did Lionel Johnson like way back, he sent to not mining kinda decent
The young
world.
Primarch had been sighted wandering the outskirts of the settlements and outcast clusters of the planet. Gifted with inhuman strength and an artisan's craftsmanship, the Primarch had offered his skills to the people of Olympia as a means of trade. Nomadic in his dealings, the Primarch would evade the notice of the courts of Olympia, yet eventually be discovered by the servants of the tyrant of Lokos.
Okay.
Found climbing the walls of the city of Lokos, the guards would bring the boy before their ruler, Damekos. Referring to himself as PERTURABO, the child had an innate understanding of his own being and the mechanisms of technology.
Oh wait, so Lionel Johnson was named, Fulgrim was also like named. PERTURABO just referred to himself, so no one named him, I guess.
Ordered by Damekos to prove his martial and artisanal aptitude, would best any warrior brought to fight him and solve any puzzle or intellectual quandary devised by Lokos' most capable scholars.
Okay, so
Intrigued with the boy's unparalleled skills, Damekos would offer PERTURABO a bargain. Serve him as a member of his court as a loyal adopted son, and he would be given protection, patronage, and free access to Lokos' scholarships and military training. Accepting the tyrant's offer, PERTURABO would prove to be a diligent prodigy of many talents.
look at him.
The Primarch would consume information, lore, and study with a ravenous hunger, and swiftly become the foremost accomplished and intelligent being of Olympia.
Maybe I'm just a little bit like him. Remembrances say he consumed the lore. And look at me, I'm also consuming it.
Slow to trust anyone, PERTURABO would deny the affections of his adoptive father. Plagued with ennui and the ever-disturbing leer of the maelstrom within view of the planet's surface, PERTURABO would be the only soul of Olympia capable of seeing the looming threat from the planet's surface. Unable to shrug the sensation of ceaseless judgment born from the maelstrom's gaze, the scrutiny of the stars would further mold the young Primarch into a cold, brooding figure.
Naming the Great Tear in real space as the Eye of Terror, the aloof Primarch would be unaware of the future portents of the malevolent forces deep within its mercurial heart.
Wait, so he knew about that Slanesh birth thingy?
Mastering the arts of siege warfare, influenced in part by his homeworld's mountainous landscapes, the warring city-states of Olympia would give ample opportunity for Perturabo to test his stratagems of war.
Okay.
Beset on all sides by treachery and vendettas, Lokos would be locked in an endless game of power and deception. Quickly rising through the ranks of Lokos' military, Perturabo would draft mercenaries and war artisans into his army's ranks. His victories unchallenged, it would not be long before Perturabo's reputation would cause soldiers of fortune to flock to his banner. Inventing deadly contraptions of war and outfitting his armies with the finest weapons and armor, Perturabo's innovations would be revolutionary to his people.
I guess that makes sense. If you're like a regular citizen, you're like in the army, and you see this dude pop up with his army, which has everything better, you would probably want to also flock up, to his servitude, I guess.
Mastering astronomy, medicinal breakthroughs, automation, production, and architecture.
Again, I just think about it again because we know he falls to chaos, You just look, he made his, well, we don't know if he made his world better, but he clearly studied, the astrology, the medicine. He basically is a god to his people. Why would he decide to fall to chaos? I do
would not be long
understand.
Before Perturabo would become infamous in the eyes of his enemies.
Obviously.
Dubbed the Hammer of Olympia due to his force's overwhelming firepower and destructive strength, the warlord of Lokos would soon dominate the planet. Culling the duplicitous betrayer within the court of Lokos, the now Lord of Iron would, if not for his aloof nature, be poised to rule Olympia. Hardened by the planet's insidious and treacherous nature, Perturabo would grow to become a merciless, indomitable force, his iron will encompassing the Kavaphos heraldry of his banner. A steel executioner's mask would prove to be an omen for any whom would choose to stand in defiance of its promise of bloodshed and punishment.
I still think that, listen, I saw all the banners, I think this is like the coolest one.
Though capable of usurping his adoptive father, Perturabo would honor the tyrant of Lokos' bargain. With no cause to slay Damikos, the tyrant of Lokos would seemingly come to rule Olympia as its unopposed ruler. Yet with the arrival of the master of mankind to the planet, such ambitions would be dashed. Meeting with Perturabo, the Emperor would observe his gene-son to be a capable and loyal subject of his homeworld. Acknowledging Perturabo's disposition to reject the mantle of rulership, the Emperor would be quick to install the Lord of Iron as a general of the Great Crusade. Brought to Holy Terror to sate his need for knowledge, Perturabo would study the history of humanity. Alongside his scholarly brother, Magnus the Red, the Crimson King
Oh, Magnus was already found at this
and Lord of
time.
Iron
Okay.
would spend months together, reading of the past glories, secrets, and hard-won mysteries of the Age of Strife. The philosophies of humanity's ancient history would be rich insight for the two Primarchs, and together they would form a bond of respect for their shared love of learning and discovery. Though difficult to trust, once the Lord of Iron's friendship was achieved, it would become unbreakable. Or at least such would seem to be the case for the promising upstart Primarch. Yet with time,
So from what I getting, he was really friendly with Magnus. And as I remember, I don't know from what, Magnus, like, no, wait, I'm
Perturabo's
confused.
heart would continue to harden with his involvement in the Great Crusade to restore humanity. Devoting himself to the burgeoning Imperium, Perturabo would be given command of his legion, newly named in his image as the Iron Warriors.
Dude, the name sounds so cool, bruh. Iron
Given
Warriors, the logo, everything for them. It looks badass.
rulership of Olympia and drafting recruits from its populace to bolster his legion, Perturabo would in all but title depose the tyrant of Lokos. The seed of anti-imperial unrest would be planted, to which Damocos would tend to its slow, yet ceaseless momentum. Accompanying the Emperor to observe the standard to which wars must be waged, Perturabo would mold his legion with an iron fist. Finding his legion's deeds to be lacking in comparison to their brother legions, Perturabo would enact a harsh reprisal.
Oh, so he didn't. So the Space Marines Perturabo received, he didn't really like them, so he added a little twist on them.
Ordering his legion into squads of 10, each member of the Iron Warriors would draw lots. One member of each squad would draw a mark of death, their execution to be conducted by the remaining 9 members of the squad with their bare hands. Despite the protestation of the Imperial Court and Ultramarines Primarch Rabute Gilliman, the Emperor would not reprimand Perturabo for his actions.
But why though? No, that's weird. You don't just allow your son to do shit like this. That's crazy.
Allowing for the Lord of Iron to dictate his legion's future by methods he deemed fit, the Emperor's sanctions of such drastic measures would be final.
Am I crazy? Well, this is insane.
Perturabo would demand total obedience from his men and give no mercy for failure.
Okay, obedience makes sense, but separate people to 10, well, in the squads of 10 people, and one of them has to die? That seems unfair. It's so...
A living machine of war, the Iron Warriors would become a mirthless, brutal, and yet efficient army. Bringing scores of worlds into compliance, their trials and punishments would be relentless. Experimenting methods to harness brutal efficiency from his legion, Perturabo would not allow for any weakness in his ranks.
Again, I understand the whole thing of Perturabo is efficiency. But how is it efficient to kill your own people?
Gaining a reputation as a legion capable of breaching any fortress, no matter its scale or splendor. The Iron Warriors under the command of their reunited Primarch would prove to be among the most deadly of the Legiones Astartes. A reputation which would prove crucial to the ambitions of the soon-to-be corrupted War Master of the Imperium, Horus Lupercal. With the fall of the Primarch of the 16th Legion, Horus Lupercal, to the thrall of chaos, his opening gambit of the civil war for humanity would require reinforcements.
Okay.
Slaughtering the loyalist forces within the legions of the Emperor's children, World Eaters, Death Guard and his own legion, the Sons of Horus, the War Master would require allies in order to survive the...
You know, the more I look into the, Fulgrim Emperor's Children armor, and you know, back then I was like, ooh, purple, it looks so bad. The more I look at it, it kinda looks good.
reprisal of
It
the
grows
Emperor.
on me every time I see it.
Observing the resentment in his brother caused by the Master of Mankind's continual mistreatment.
But again, let me say, I think Perturabo color scheme, also this yellow and black color with the gray, I think it looks so good. You know, I love Blood Angels. We'll get to them one day. But dude, this scheme, I really enjoy it.
Of the Lord of Iron and his men, the War Master would concoct an additional barb to sweeten his offer of betrayal.
Okay, what did he offer?
The tyrant of Lokos, Damocos, had died and left a power vacuum on the world of Olympia. Political uprising and violence would erupt across the Lord of Iron's homeworld and require his intervention to stem the tide of bloodshed. Yet with the Hammer of Olympia's arrival to his home system, the spectre of his namesake's legacy would loom large. Already harried by their recent conflict with the Harad Xenos, the Iron Warriors would return to a world of spite and ungrateful resentment of their masters. Purging the cities of Olympia, Perturabo and the Iron Warriors would massacre 5 million souls in the attempt to restore order.
Okay.
Only once the skies darkened with the smoke wrought by the piles of charred bodies and burning cityscapes did the Lord of Iron achieve a moment of clarity. The Iron Warriors were not saviors, nor paragons of the Imperium's virtue, but cold-hearted, genocidal killers. Slaying his own stepsister, Caliphany, Perturabo would resign his fate to never be redeemed by the light of the Emperor.
See, to me this is confusing. Talking about efficiency and stuff, and it's like the opposite of that. I don't know.
joining the traitors to the throne in their quest to destroy the Imperium. The Iron Warriors would make their first open display of intent upon the world of Istvan V.
Did I hear about this Istvan V? And I think I had a comment someone sent me, but it's... Dude, I need to learn about it.
Informed of the
Remembrancer mentions this specific place 3 times in his video.
betrayal of the War Master, the Master of Mankind would dispatch 7 legions to bring the traitors to justice. Led by the first wave of the Salamanders, Raven Guard, and Iron Hands, commanded by the Primarch of the Iron Tenth, Ferrus Manus, the remaining 4 legions would join the second assault wave to crush the traitors. Yet unknown to the Loyalists, the reinforcements of the Night Lords, Word Bearers, Alpha Legion and Iron Warriors had pledged their service to the War Master. Upon the scarred vistas of Istvan V, the Iron Warriors would bear their bolters, armaments and siegecraft to bear. Forever known thereafter as the betrayers of Istvan, the Iron Warriors would gun down their loyalist kin during the now infamous Dropside Massacre. Their deeds enabling the deaths of Primarchs Ferrus Manus, Vulcan, and the retreat of Corvus Corax. The 3 loyalist legions would be shattered, their surviving fragments scattered to the corners of the galaxy. Gifted the Warhammer, Forgebreaker by the War Master, the once personal weapon carried into battle by the Iron Hands Primarch Ferrus Manus would be a worthy prize for the Hammer of Olympia's involvement in the
he wanted that camera?
massacre. Yet such a crippling blow would not be enough for the Lord of Iron. Seeking to once more humble the loyalists of the Imperium, Perturabo would seek to destroy his most hated rivals, the Imperial Fists. Experts alike to the Iron Warriors and fortification
Oh yeah, Brick mentioned that Imperial Fists and Iron Warriors are like in, infinite competition.
and siegecraft, Perturabo would harbor a deep resentment for the favor the Emperor would show to the 7th Legion and their Primarch, Rogel Dawn.
But why?
Cleansing the planet of Hydra Caudatus, garrisoned by the Imperial Fists, Perturabo's hunger for vengeance would not be satisfied. Tasked by the War Master to ambush the 7th Legion's Retribution fleet, Perturabo would personally engage the Imperial Fists within the Thal system. Crippling the Retribution fleet, but repelled by the fleet commander, Captain Alexis Pollux, the Lord of Iron would deal a devastating blow to a third of the 7th Legion's combined might. His thirst for battle temporarily quenched, Perturabo would be petitioned by the Emperor's Children Primarch, Fulgrim, to accompany him to acquire an artifact of great power hidden deep within the Eye of Terror.
Oh,
Perturabo's life had been influenced greatly by the malevolent glare of the Eye of Terror from the days he first walked upon Olympia. Despite his reservations at his brother's flagrant, two-faced and insidious nature, the Lord of Iron would not deny the chance to discover the secrets hidden deep within his primordial tormentor. Joining with the Emperor's children, the Primarch would venture to the Crone world of Idris. Despite their disgust at the disorganized and gaudy rabble of the 3rd Legion, the Iron Warriors would regardless join their Gene-Father in their venture into the Maelstrom. Harried by the Shattered Legion warband, the Orphans of War, aboard the warship, the Sisypheum, the Iron Warriors would prove capable in staving off the Loyalist attacks. For the Emperor's children's continued disregard for authority and discipline, Perturabo would humble Fulgrim and assume total command of both legions during their months of voyage.
Okay, so we traveled together, and as Fulgrim got completely getting consumed by Slaanesh, he stopped really caring about his legion. As for Perturabo, it's gonna be Perturabo, guys. So Perturabo still had this iron grip on his Space Marine sons.
Upon their arrival to the planet of Idris, Perturabo would accompany Fulgrim to the heart of the long-dead planet. Once the seat of power of the Eldari, the Primarchs now stood upon the epicenter of the birth of the being known as She Who Firsts, Slaanesh. The birth scream of the foul being would rend the fabric of the galaxy, birthing the Eye of Terror and leaving a portion of its power within the sepulchre of Isha's doom. Seizing the power for himself, Fulgrim would turn on the Lord of Iron and draw strength from his body. Defiant in the face of his own betrayal, Perturabo would strike Fulgrim with the weapon of his own devising, Forgebreaker. Destroying his mortal form, Perturabo's strike from the now chaos-tainted weapon, in combination to the power Fulgrim had drawn, would allow for the Phoenicians' ascension to
why
destroy his body.
are we fighting? Sorry.
Defiant in the face of his own betrayal, Perturabo would strike Fulgrim with the weapon of his own devising, Forgebreaker. Destroying his mortal form, Perturabo's strike from the now chaos-tainted weapon, in combination to the power Fulgrim had drawn, would allow for the Phoenicians' ascension. Reborn as a demon prince of Slaanesh, Fulgrim would transform, and with his newfound power, withdraw himself and his legion from the now crumbling planet. Enraged at his manipulation by the Phoenician, Perturabo would seek to vindicate his legion for such a foolhardy blunder. Recommitting his legion's might to the traitor war effort, it would not be long until the durability of the 4th Legion would be tested one final time.
By whom?
The War Master's slow, yet inexorable march to Holy Terror would be close to its fruition. The Iron Warriors' efforts for the remainder of the years leading to the final assault of the Throne World would remain a thankless task.
Okay.
Embittered once more at their mistreatment, Perturabo would demand satisfaction for his warriors' peerless capabilities to be put to the test. The Lord of Iron would prove that he was the greatest strategist humanity had ever seen, and set his eyes on the bastion of the Imperial Palace as the canvas of his greatest victory. Joining the traitor legions en masse, the Iron Warriors would be the backbone of the Siege of Terror.
Oh, so they were basically... He says it in a sense that if Imperial... Wait... If Perturabo wouldn't join Horus, basically it all would go to shit way sooner.
Their mastery of siegecraft would be tested, and after many grueling months of toil, the 4th Legion would begin to break the defenses of the Loyalist legions.
Oh, we even managed to break the defenses.
Despite the Lord of Iron's best laid plans, his brother Primarchs and their legion would prove unreliable in following his orders.
So basically, the only reason basically he failed is because his brothers are stupid, okay?
Whilst he would derive immense pleasure in tearing down the bastions crafted by Primarch Rogel Dawn, Perturabo would lose faith in the traitor assault. Withdrawing his legion from the conflict, Perturabo would not be present to witness the death of the War Master at the hands of the Emperor.
Oh, so he even left sooner.
Yet such matters were now no longer of import to the Hammer of Olympia, for he would set a final trap to end his rival, Rogel Dawn.
He really hates Rogel Dawn.
Constructing an immense fortress upon the world of Sebastus IV, known as the Iron Cage, Perturabo would ensnare the Praetorians of Terror into his trap. The Imperial Fists, led by their Primarch, Rogel Dawn, now incensed with the crippling of the Emperor and devastation of the Throne World, would charge into the clutches of the Lord of Iron. If it was the intent of Rogel Dawn to battle with honor, such an expectation would be misplaced. Using every act of cunning, division, and entrapment, the Lord of Iron would attempt to destroy the Imperial Fists piecemeal with overwhelming firepower.
See, now this is what I like. I like it when basically people, they wanna win so bad that we use all type of crazy shit to do it. I like it.
For 3 weeks, the ever-eroding 7th Legion would fight a desperate battle to achieve their vengeance against their hated foe. Yet with the intervention of the Ultramarines and their Primarch, Rabute Guilliman, the annihilation of the Imperial Fists would be prevented.
Ah, so Rabute saved the yellow guys.
Denied his final great victory against the 7th Legion, Perturabo would withdraw from the battle, with the
Dude, he withdrawed again, so he withdrew.
salvaged genius
Okay, Iron Warriors like sound like losers.
seed of 400 Imperial Fist Astartes.
It's like they wanna go in, they wanna prove themselves, but every time they fail, so they retreat.
Offering his spoils of war to the ruinous powers within the Immaterium, Perturabo would be elevated and transformed into a demon prince of chaos undivided.
He looks sick.
Not seen for 10 millennia, the Lord of Iron would scheme upon the demon world.
And the audio is dead. Sorry guys for a little pause. It's summer and my laptop overheats, and when it overheats it basically stops recording, so I'm unfortunate. Oh my god. Oh my god, wait a minute. Hey guys, we even restarted PC. Hopefully we will finish this video. Sorry for this.
The Lord of Iron would scheme upon the demon world of Medrengard within his labyrinthine citadel of stone and iron. His reluctance to delve into imperial space now wavering with rumor that the hammer of Olympia shall once again strike a catastrophic blow to humanity. For though iron can be broken, its sharp edges can still be used to cause untold harm, and with time and diligence, such fragments can be reforged into something far stronger than once imagined.
I have bitten my tongue and allowed you to bring my legion into this place,
said Perturabo.
I have followed your lead in all things. I have listened to your tall tales and allowed you to set the pace of this expedition.
Perturabo leaned forward and said,
That ends now.
He released Fulgrim, who held himself erect in the face of Perturabo's cold anger.
Your warriors have no discipline. Monsters fight your battles, and you have allowed an entire vessel to be sacrificed in the name of vanity. But no more. From here onwards, I am in charge, and for the duration of this mission, your legion is mine to command.
So he basically told Fulgrim to fuck off and sit in the corner.
Your warriors will obey my orders, they will follow my lead, and they will do nothing except by command. If you agree to that, then we will continue on into the Eye of Terror and finish this together. If you don't, then I will take my legion and leave you here. Do you understand?
Fulgrim nodded and swallowed a mouthful of blood. I understand, brother, he said, his voice a gargled, mangled mockery of its once perfect cadence. I understand that you humble me and expect me to swallow my pride to be your lapdog.
I don't need a damn lapdog,
snarled Perturabo.
I need an equal.
But I am not your equal, brother, said Fulgrim, grinning through his bloodified features, as though this outburst of violence was somehow amusing. I surpass you in every way.
Damn!
And yet, I'm the one holding the hammer.
Okay, that was kind of fire.
This has been a tale of the great Imperium of Man, read by the Remembrancer. The Lord of Iron's downfall would prove to be catastrophic for the Imperium, for such a capable and ruthless leader is the bane of many loyal servants of the Imperium. Yet in my next transmission of the Traitor Primarchs, we shall elucidate an undisciplined, yet arguably more ruthless son of the Emperor, the Night Haunter of Nostramo, Conrad Kurz.
Hey guys, we finished the Perturabo Iron Warriors video. Honestly, I'm like 50% sold of them. It's like there's stuff I love about them, there's stuff I really don't like about them. The fact that Remembrancer said in the beginning that Perturabo wanted to divide his Space Marines by like 10, put 10 Space Marines in one squad and kill one for no reason. He's for efficiency, but I don't see efficiency in killing your own soldiers, basically. He's an interesting guy, I guess. I like the fact that he's very industrial, you know, like manufacturing. That's kind of hype about him. Color scheme is great. Overall, honestly, for now on, Fulgrim is still the best one in my eyes. But I understand, in a sense, Perturabo was like the backbone of the whole like assault of the Earth Terra. So they were basically the backbone. And as if I am understanding correctly, the moment PERTURABO left, all hell went loose, basically. So yeah, we are gonna continue. If I believe correctly, the 5th was Jagatai Khan, the White Scars. We will do them. Again, thank you for Remembrancer for making this video. Guys, please leave a like if you didn't like it because of the shit that happened during this video. Well, leave a dislike. Please subscribe. I will obviously leave Remembrancer video in the description, so you also go there and leave a like there. And see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.